this particular class?
There's 6. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not, I know one of them postponed to come in this class. He was supposed to be in the class I just finished last week, but he had to make up a course, so he's in this one with us, but I'm not sure about the others. If usually you're in a cohort that goes through the program together, but that doesn't always work out either.
Okay.
So give it a couple more minutes, see if anybody else joins us, then I'll kind of go through some of the things that the tips and tricks that I have.
Okay. All righty.
So I'm sharing my screen. Are you able to see? It's a,
Yes.
so this is a Canvas, and it's the student view in Canvas, so you see what you would be seeing as a student.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing this course since I started at SNU in 2018. It was called another name when we were doing it earlier, but we've used the same simulation all those times. And I was counting it up the other day, and I've actually done this course over 30 times, so I'm pretty experienced at it.
Yeah.
It seems like it's the only one I'm doing right now. I live in Edmond, and I got tired of driving to Bethany, so they told me I only want to do online. So
Okay. Good.
so I think, have you already registered in the Capson simulation? Okay.
Yes.
So when I set it up, I didn't realize, I thought I was gonna only have 2 companies, and I think I said there's 3. So there's gonna be 2 companies with 3 people each. And so there's 3 of them that had already picked Andrews, and I think maybe you're the one that I put in Baldwin. There's still 2 that haven't registered yet.
Okay.
So we'll see what goes on between now and then.
Okay.
One of the things that we've done over the duration of me teaching this course is I've put some helpful hints in here. The teams that do well pick a strategy and try to stick with the strategy.
Okay.
And you'll see that in the tutorials. I'll talk about 6 different strategies. And this is a PDF that has them on it. And it tells you the different types of strategies that you can follow. I have seen all the strategies be successful. So there's not just one that is better than the other. A lot of them end up being the broad differentiation because basically you have a presence in all the different sectors there.
Okay.
Okay. But there's other ones that you can look at. And as you go through the tutorials, it'll explain how to get to some of those and how you back out of some of the products and stuff like that.
Okay.
Let
me call you back. I'm in class. I'm sorry, it's my family member. All right.
What I did here is these are practice strategies, and there's pros and cons to doing this. Sometimes the students are at a loss to where do they start? What do I do? Where do I start? So what these were from the teaching guide, and it talks about each of the different strategies, and it shows you how to make some of the decisions in like the first 3 rounds.
Okay.
They're not perfect because there's a random number generator in there, just like there is in the real marketplace. So even though you put everything in exactly the way it tells you to, it's not going to come back with a perfect score.
Okay.
But what this does though is, like, if you look, and I'll click on this like niche differentiation, and it comes up and it'll tell you that. And so you see where the name Ferris in there?
Mm-hmm.
So each one of them has a company name. Now we're just going to be using Andrew and Baldwin. So the other companies will be running these strategies. Okay.
Okay.
So if you're competing against somebody that, say, niche differentiation, then you'll know who your competitor is. by looking at this and what it says what team is using that for this example. Just because it has that team name in there doesn't mean you have to adopt that, but just kind of a hint. If you're looking at the other companies that are being run by the computer, because the computer will keep running the other companies while the students are running their companies. You can see what strategy that they're using and see what some of the decisions that they're making.
Okay.
One of the other things is we have is it's called the Capstone Courier. And in that Capstone Courier, this is kind of let's see if I can flip it around there. This is a worksheet we put together years ago, a bunch of us that taught this class. And so each segment for each round has a performance parameter and a size parameter.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it changes as you go through. So what we've done here is you'll see those when you go to the Capstone Courier each time, but we've kind of put them all on one sheet of paper for you.
Mm-hmm.
Also talks about demand for each of the ones, because one of the things that's always an issue is how do we come up with our market share, and what's the demand going to be, and how do we forecast? And this gives you what you'll see as you go through that. So it's a kind of a helpful hints as you're looking at that. And I made it to where you can download it and print it if you wanted to put your product names in there.
Okay.
Some of the students are concerned about their grade point average. Imagine that, huh?
Yeah.
The evaluation scales are generous, okay? So when you're in the practice rounds, the maximum points for each round is 10 points. So that's not going to really impact a grade. But you can see, even if you get a 0 on your balanced scorecard, you still get 5 points. When you go into the competition rounds, they're worth 40 points apiece. So if you get a 0, you still get 35 points. Most teams kind of hang around in there between 38 and 39 based on what they're doing. If they finally get the balanced scorecard figured out, it's not unusual for them to get 40 points. Okay.
Okay.
One of the things that I tell students, and the ones that aren't here, you can share with your team, is I'm not a real hard grader on the other assignments because I know that the simulation could impact your grade. So as long as you're turning the other assignments in, you're completing them, you're answering the questions, you're making sense of what you're answering, you'll generally get full credit. Usually where people won't get full credit is they'll forget to answer some of the questions, or like in the weekly discussion post, they won't post anything to their classmates or something like that.
Okay.
So it's imperative that you complete all the other assignments on time and complete them to the extent that we're asking for, because again, that'll the simulation evaluation could impact your grade if you're lacking in other areas.
Okay.
The other is the Comp XM. This is a simulation inside of the Capstone simulation. It's like we use it for accreditation purposes for evaluating our students at the end, but you take it for a grade, it's worth 10% of your grade. It's the scale on that again is kind of generous.
Oh,
If you
okay.
get 60%, you're going to get 100 points. Okay.
Okay.
So, and we do that on purpose. That I've also put in here. I think I've got it week 5. Let me scroll down to week 5. A study guide. I put this together. You'll be running the company. It's an individual assignment. It's not going to be a team thing, but it's going to be just like what you've done through the simulation. And you'll be making decisions. You'll be looking. They don't call it Capstone Courier. It's the something Inquirer, like that old supermarket rag sheet, the National Enquirer.
Okay.
Uh, but what this I've done here is it gives you sample questions that you might see from the board. Okay. Now, these are not word for word. These are just samples. They're similar to what you might see in each of the rounds. So you're going to have to know, how do I tell the difference between these types of strategies? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things about cash management, stock? Each one of these rounds will have 8 to 10 questions that you'll need to answer. Now, I open this up in week 5, so you basically got 2 weeks to complete it, and you will do your process the rounds yourself. I won't be processing them. Unlike the the capstone simulation, which has deadlines and it'll be processed automatically on those deadlines. Okay. So this just gives you something to look at. I would recommend looking at this and have it at handy as you go through the tutorials and also as you go through the modules themselves, as
Okay.
you go through the course. Okay.
Okay.
That pretty much covers what I wanted to talk about. Do you have questions?
Um, at this moment, I do not.
Okay.
I know like what I typically do is that I'm already in the process of kind of like, you know, preparing myself and setting time aside because I have to balance work and
Sure.
this. And so even I've taken into consideration taking time off for work
Hmm.
because I want to actually read a lot of things so I can understand. And like if I don't understand it, I will have like I'll spend a lot of time like reading.
Yeah.
And so long as I have like a concept of what it consists of, I think that I would do okay. But
Yeah. Well,
um
one of the
I'm
things that they've added to this version of Capstone, um, is they've got an interactive chat bot. So
oh,
it's a tutorial. So if you go in there and you ask a question about, what can I do to improve my contribution margin or something like that. So that's students have found that helpful.
okay.
One of the things that I will use in grading your simulation is this tool here, debriefing tool.
Okay.
It actually does a better job. I used to take about 20 or 30 minutes to go through each team, but this does it in about 5 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the other uh, hints that I'll give you is every company starts with too much capacity. And
Okay.
so capacity is something you can sell to make money early on, as you're going through.
Okay.
And the other thing that you need to remember, this is not like Dave Ramsey, where he tells you not to borrow too much money.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, when you're in business, my grandfather told me this years ago, use as much of other people's money as you can. So
Okay.
you'll see as you go through, um, they call it leverage,
Leverage.
and you're
Okay.
selling stock or you're selling bonds and stuff like that to be able to raise money. But have a
Yeah.
purpose for what you're raising the money for too. And
Yeah,
you,
on my the last class that I just done, that's
uh-huh,
what I came to find out. Because when I came to like balancing and different things like that, one of the primary focus was not leveraging other resources.
yeah.
Instead of trying to like use your own money or things like that. So yeah, it was interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. Well, this is a very challenging course because of the simulation, but it's also
Okay.
very rewarding. And I always tell people, Dave Rams, they used to say, begin with the end in mind. That was Stephen Covey. So look all the way through all the modules, see what the assignments are, because at the end, the team is going to have to do a video on their aha moments and what they did in each round. So you need to be kind of keeping track of that. Uh,
Okay.
the uh, the teams can meet. A lot of them you can use a free Zoom, and you can share the Zoom on the PowerPoint, and then each team member can contribute to it and record it.
Okay.
And then it helps if they record it and save it into like a YouTube video or something. But there's other ones out there too, like Screencastify and what's the other one.
Oh, well, another one, will we be able to during this time, like running a business? Because when I read the information, is it still the same concept as a multi-million-dollar business? It's like we just, like for each company that that we have to come up with or that we're gonna be actually using? Will, will it be like in the same, like, that kind of scares me a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
like multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
That's like, that's a little
But
steep for me, but
yeah, they don't put all the zeros there, so you don't have all the zeros to look at.
okay.
But it's what it reminded me of is AT&T 20, 30 years ago got all broke up, all the Bell companies,
Mm-hmm.
there's all the different Bell companies and stuff like that, and
Uh-huh.
they broke them all up. So basically the scenario is this is a company that got broke up in a whole bunch of small pieces. And now each company is on their own trying to compete in the same market sectors with each other. And it's a manufacturing process, but still, a lot of things we do, people say, well, I don't do manufacturing. But when you start looking at things like, uh, I always use an example of McDonald's. McDonald's is manufacturing. You're building a hamburger, you're building French fries.
Yeah.
Healthcare is another one that could conceivably be manufacturing if you look at what you're doing for patient care, stuff like that. So it's a it's a good simulation again, and people find it rewarding. So
Okay.
I'm generally available by email. That's probably the best way. Uh,
Okay.
I try to respond fairly quick on that, but like this weekend, I got a bunch of stuff I'm doing, so it might take a while to respond. But
Okay. Well,
and
I got it. I've been taking notes.
okay,
I'm a writer.
that's good.
I had to, like, that's why I was looking down because I was writing, taking down some key
Yeah.
points.
I
So
use the old adage, if you write it, you remember it.
yeah, I have to because I have too much that I have to do through the day and
Uh,
I would literally forget. So I have to write it down.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Well, seems
when the
like it's going to
others,
be
yeah,
interesting.
let me see here. Okay, so yeah, you're in the Baldwin right now. So when the other two get registered, then I'll send a announcement out saying who's on what team. So
Okay.
get contact with them because after pretty much on your own till Saturday, but then after Saturday, they need to start working on the first round of the simulation, which will be due by Tuesday.
Okay. And that's the group effort, right?
That's a group effort, correct?
Okay. So have you ever had situations in classes like over your 30 years where those who were on teams, like if assignments are due and your teammate is not like, do we need to still have kind of like the business mindset when
Yeah.
someone is like pulling their weight?
Yes, yes, I've had to deal with that.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
if I can readjust the teams once we get out of the practice session, we go to the competition section, we can readjust teams there.
Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to look, see how I could readjust now, and I got it set and it won't let me do it without uh, erasing everything and start over again. And I don't want to do that because people are registered in the simulation.
Right. That's right. That's
So
right.
when we go to the competition round, I can readjust the teams in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For competition round. Okay.
Yeah. Before I taught for SNU, I was actually full-time at Oklahoma State and Oklahoma City, but then I also taught part-time for University of Phoenix and
Woo.
for 16 years, and they did teams. So yes, I've had to deal with team issues.
Oh, yeah, I work on a team now, so I'll be like, woo. You know, I'm
Teams is how
learning.
you do thing in the real world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm learning a lot, but I never worked on a team before, but
yeah,
it's like a group of us. It's like it's separate, but it's still a team, but this is
yeah,
actually a team.
yeah.
So,
Well, one of the things, you can work and try to work out different things when you're entering data into the simulation. You need to have one person do that because it's
Okay.
like a Word document. Whoever saved it last is the one that gets saved. So
Okay.
you could be, 2 or 3 people could be in at the same time, and it won't save what you thought it saved. It'll save what somebody else thought. So one
Okay.
person, it works better if one person's kind of like the scribe and puts all the things in there because it's not a real-time server. Like, put something in, it will
Okay.
change. It has to be saved. And once it's saved, it's, again, I do the analogy of a Word document. Whoever saved it last is what got saved. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Saved work. Okay. So we had to designate a particular person to do the data entry.
That would, yeah, that's helpful.
Okay.
And because, divide the labor up too. Some people could pay attention to marketing, some people can pay attention to finance, some people can pay attention to, the forecasting, those types of things that, and you'll
Okay.
see as you go through the tutorial, all the different roles that could possibly be
Okay.
there.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions or concerns?
No, sir. I think I got it.
Okay, all right. Well,
Well, thank you so much for giving me a head start.
there you go.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
all right,
All right. Thank you, sir.
all right. Good
All right.
night.
Good night.